Good afternoon, traders. This is Newt coming at you from Boiler Room Trading. And I wanted to hit y'all up with a little bit of aftermarket recap action. We're going to take a look at them real quick. This is going to be as short as I can possibly make it. AMD was probably my big ticket one on the list. This thing just dropped off the planet. We did pretty good trading it. Let's look at how that range of motion pre-market worked out. So what was our original? Yeah, this was our original 4, and then it broke below that pre-market resistance at 31.59, and it went a full 300% below that action. So it had way more than anticipated price action in the day, and really just blew my mind. So I was a little bit off. We were right about our resistance points, but whenever it fell through the support, it just lost support. So it went down another 300%. So I wasn't the most happy with my pre-market evaluation. I didn't see where it would have dropped that much, but it did. Oh well, sometimes you miss them. Was definitely happy seeing it take place. You know, I made some good money on it today, but what can you say when you miss it by a little bit? All right, so the next one up, I think, is NBEV. Let's check that one out. NBEV. How did that one do? So should have stayed exactly in the range we'd called out. Come on, cooperate here. I don't know what's up with TOS charting lately, but it is off. No, it did not stay exactly. It actually broke out to the high side further than we thought by 250%. So actually, is that even the right day? Yeah, that's the right day. So way more action than what we anticipated. Did not break that pre-market support. So it finally broke above the 100% pre-market spot, petered around there and consolidated, then kept continuing to the upside. Let's go and look at the next one, which was IGC. IGC. How did we fare out on this one? I seen a lot of people playing this one today. I didn't really touch it. I don't remember if it was because I think the broker didn't allow it. But yeah, did not retest the pre-market low. Comes up, tests, breaks the pre-market resistance, funnels back down, retests it, consolidates a little bit, breaks above, then retests it, and then finally it got some steam behind it and it broke on up. About 123% above. And then before breaking back down, retesting, and then coming back for that trend line. And then after it broke through the trend line, it stayed below that all day. So not bad. Not the best analysis from pre-market action, but not bad. It fit firmly in that range we're looking for. So good enough I can be happy with it. All right, next setup is going to be, let's take a look at AMRN. I think we did that one this morning as well. Maybe we didn't. I was so tired, guys. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even be here today. I would have taken the day off. That's for certain. So AM and RN jumped up all the way at the very end of the day to the 300% mark. Was a daily grinder, just kept going. Once it took 2/3 of the day to break out above that 100% range above. But yeah, it doesn't look like we marked this out pre-market. All right, let's see, what else did we do? I think that was all of them, and then maybe we did MU. Does that sound familiar? Yep, we did do MU. There we go. So what did MU look like? It never broke our pre-market support, came up, tested pre-market resistance, channel trades back and forth, and ping pong. Once it broke above the first trend line, retests the pre-market high, goes up about another 50%, comes back to the low side, respects it, and then hangs out there all afternoon. So Not something I actually ended up trading, but I probably should have. This could have made me some reasonable money. It was nice and consistent. And I am happy with the market analysis breakdown. Not going to complain one bit about that. All right, let's look at our big ticker stocks. Facebook. Honestly, I didn't touch any of the big ticker stocks today except Tesla. And my first trade on Tesla out the day, I got stuck in the damn thing. So I don't know if it was too many people or a server was glitching or what. So I lost a couple of bucks there on Tesla right out of the gate. All right, so Facebook did not come up and retest the pre-market resistance, tested the pre-market support, broke it, retested it, dropped on down to about 50% below, retested the pre-market support. Nope, doesn't want it. And then finally, the second time it tested the 50%, it broke through like a double bottom and just slammed on down for another about 168%. So what did that look like on the pre-market action price-wise, or the on the daily chart? So yes, it extended a little further than what my prediction had ran that I give to you guys. Had I been actually playing this and just used the Fibonacci's from here, I'll project this on across for you real quick so you can see what that would have looked like. If it makes it. Nope. I think this is one of the ones that it wasn't. Did it? Yeah. There he goes. I posted these in there. So had I went just two more Fibonacci's down, it would have caught this. But that's the chance you take when I'm giving y'all the majority of what the action normally is. Today was a little bit above normal. Tesla, let's see how that fared out. Slide on in here. Pre-market action just said this thing was going to be absolutely nuts. And it did kind of go nuts. But what it also did was it stayed close to that pre-market action. And the reason you don't see it moving tons down, even though it was a lot of movement, just because the pre-market action was such a drop, it spaces those Fibonacci's way out on you. So what did that look like on the daily chart? Once we zoom in, so 265.25 is the bottom side. Where they go? 265.25. Yeah. So it slightly broke underneath that. Nothing significant. I would have been happy with this. It's just when you got a stock like Tesla that can move so much in a day, it's really hard to, capture $40 moves and say that's going to repeat itself. All right. Next up is going to be Apple. Where's that at? Apple, it got 50% above the pre-market action. So it's not too bad, but it's basically topping out at the this cycle of waves that it's had doing where it's setting in some newer lows. So not too bad here. Fell well within our pre-market analysis. And what did it do? It was bottoming out, then it came back and it retested this trend line on us. Well, first it set the trend line, then it bounced up, broke over it just a little bit, and then once it held above it, it wanted to hold that all day. Right there, consolidating around the pre-market high. So not a whole lot of range movement for Apple, all in all. But not surprising where it's at. I expect next week we'll probably see this thing break out, and that would be more because we're kind of filling in this pattern here. So if we're to draw some trend lines across here, just generalize that in, this is about what we're looking at. So, all right, this might be a little more appropriate, something like that. But either way, you can see how we're wedging in here. And anytime you're going into these wedges, it'll tend to ping pong back and forth before it finally breaks out. All right, next up, NVIDIA. I don't think I touched this at all. I don't think I even watched anybody trade this. pre-market low of 267.14 and a pre-market resistance of 272.96. We broke out. Remember how I was talking about that triangular pattern? It comes into this wedge, it ping pongs back and forth. It got back in here, and then what happened today? And most of it happened in the pre-market. And what does it do? It gaps up on us, right, from down here to up here, and that was enough to get us out of this wedge, and then just ran, retested and hold. Doesn't look as crazy on this chart as what it actually probably did, but from where it broke out, wrong tool. What are we looking at there? It's about a $15 change. So you can't complain about that. That's good money. Good money. I'm just sorry I didn't trade it. I was too tired. Shouldn't have been here in the first place. Why'd you guys make me do this? Can't blame anybody but myself, though, right? I chose to be here. So BABA, still nothingness. Pre-market high, pre-market low. Yeah, it had that little gap down, but it just consolidated. It didn't try and reclaim it. I'd be interested to see what this thing does next week. And then what did our analysis look like? So we drew out our triangle pattern. We drew us a support line here. And we've got this wedge. So technically, I guess you could call this would be an ascending triangle, maybe. But I expect to see this thing break to the downside, because we're already out there a little bit. It might come back up into it on Monday and wedge a little more, or this might have been our actual breakout. So we'll have to take a look on Monday and see what market sentiment is looking like. But as far as for the range of motion, it really, you know, as you can see in here, it just didn't even cover but about half of the pre-market action. So it's very slim, but it did fall in the range we were expecting. TLRY, I think that's the last big one we had to look at. Tillery, and it stayed well within the pre-market range. Remember, it had that parabolic long, and then it had the washout long, or the long washout, however you want to say it. And then what happens when you get to the bottom of that long? You get a cover pop, and then it consolidates. And then we had a cover pop yesterday, and today we continued a little bit of that cover pop. I wasn't anticipating this much continuation of the cover pop. But if you look at it, right, the wicks were big, but there was a lot of consolidation and chop. So this would have been hard to make good money on. But it fell well within the range we'd predicted. So I've got zero complaints about that. Just, I was happy staying away from this one today. Anywho, guys, I'm glad I'm able to get these recaps out there for you. Smash the like button if you're getting anything at all out of this. Send me some comments. Get up with me on Discord. It's the easiest way to have a two-way conversation. It's really hard to kind of, you know, talk things out through the comments on YouTube. So just find me on Discord. Say hello. All right, guys. Look forward to seeing y'all. Maybe I'll do something over the weekend to put some video out. Don't know. It's been a rough week with me sleeping, but we'll see what we can roll out. And don't forget, October 1st should be my official rollout of the channel. So, anywho, it's been fun. See ya.